Everybody, welcome to the Metropolitan Outer Development Assessment Panel meeting this morning. I'll declare the meeting open at 9:32 a.m. and in doing so acknowledge we're hosting this meeting on the traditional land of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We acknowledge the Aboriginal people as the traditional custodians of Western Australia, pay respect to elders past and present, and the ongoing connection between people, land, waters and community. This meeting will be run in accordance with DAP Standing Orders and DAP Regulations 2011. The meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the DAP website. Panel members may refer to technical devices throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. I'll introduce the panel. I'm Jean Coltas, presiding member. To my left is Page, deputy presiding member. And on camera we have Nima Premji, who's the specialist member. From the City of Rockingham this morning we have Councillor Mark Jones and Mayor Lorna Buchan. And later for the City of Gosnells we'll have Mayor Teresa Lyons and Councillor Saiful Islam. I have no apologies recorded today, and I'll note the minutes of previous meetings that are available on the DAP website. We move into part B of the agenda for City of Rockingham. In doing so, I'll ask panel members to indicate by show of hands that they're familiar with all the documentation within part B of the agenda and part B related information. Thank you. That's unanimous. Thanks very much. Item 2, disclosures of interest. Councillors, was this item discussed at presented to any briefing or council meeting?
No, it wasn't, presiding member.
Thank you. No other disclosures of interest at this stage? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the item on the agenda, which is a Form 1 DAP application. We have none. Form 2 DAP application is for the proposed mixed commercial development, minor amendments to the tavern at 434 Safety Bay Road. We have one presenter on the item, Isha Noon from Planning Solutions. Isha, would you like to make your presentation, please? We have 3 minutes available for you. Thank you.
Morning, panel members. We are acting on behalf of BB Holdings Proprietary Limited, the proponent of the proposed development. We are pleased to receive the City's RAR recommendation to approve the minor amendments. This application seeks to predominantly modify the internal layout of the tavern to improve its functionality. Reconfiguration results in a good acoustic outcome, proposing greater separation of noise-generating activities to sensitive receptors. There's no change to the approved operation of the tavern or the car parking provision. We ask the DAP to support the application and adopt the recommendation as proposed. We'd be happy to answer any questions the panel may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Panel members, any questions of the presenter? Yes, Councillor Jones.
Just a couple. So condition 4 just requires a pedestrian crossing across Safety Bay Road prior to occupancy. I was just noted that a lot the angled bays have been completed on Safety Bay Road. I was just wondering, is the design being done for the pedestrian crossing, and is that on schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, and just on a side issue, is there any other sort of hold-ups regarding the development, Western Power or liquor licensing, or is that still progressing well too?
As far as I'm aware, Councillor Jones, it's all progressing well.
Very good. Okay, so all right. That's all the questions from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No further questions. Okay, council staff, do you have any comment to make on the presentation, or would you rather just go straight to questions?
Yep. Look, I could just, through the presiding member, I'll just quickly comment on Councillor Jones's question just then about the pedestrian crossing. The City can confirm the crossing has been completed, it's constructed, operational, and that condition of the development approval has now been cleared.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Parlane. Any further questions of the panel, of the officers panel? If not, thank you, presenters and council staff. We'll move on now to the item itself. In order that the panel can do so and discuss, I need a mover and seconder. Do I have a mover for the recommendation before us? Yes.
Yep, I'll move.
Okay. Councillor Mayor Buchan. And the second I have Member Page.
Okay.
Thank you. Mayor Buchan.
Yeah, I'm happy to move the motion. It seems to be a minor amendment to internal layouts, and obviously greater separation between the noise and the receptors is of benefit to the community. Thanks.
Thank you. Member Page, seconder.
Yeah, very briefly, I'm happy that the proposed amendments fall within a scope of a Form 2 application. The changes, the type of changes you'd ordinarily see during design development, and they're generally internal reconfigurations only, which will enhance the functionality of the premises and potentially reduce impact on the adjoining residential premises. And I'm referring specifically here there to the relocation of the children's play area. The external modifications proposed are minor. They don't negatively impact on the design of the building or the presentation to neighbours in the street. They're so minor, in fact, that they don't trigger the need to amend any of the conditions previously approved by this DAP in October last year. So happy to support.
Okay, any other member wish to speak to the item? If not, I'll support the item as well and just mirror the comments made by Member Page. Okay, Mayor Buchan, as mover, do you wish to say anything further, or will we go straight to the vote?
No, nothing further.
Okay, I'll put the item as recommended. All in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item 5 on the agenda was section 31 SAT reconsiderations. There are none. I'll at this stage thank Mayor Buchan and Councillor Jones and the local government members, staff members for their participation, and thank you for the presenters.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll now move on to part C of the agenda with the City of Gosnells. I'll just wait for them to marshal themselves. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you and welcome the City of Gosnells team. We have Mayor Teresa Lyons and Councillor Safil Islam, and staff we have Brenton. Welcome again, Brenton. Okay, for the new members moving in, I'll remind everyone that we're running the meeting in accordance with standing orders, and panel members may refer to technical devices throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. Item 1, declaration of due consideration. Will all panel members indicate that they have considered all the documentation within Part C of the agenda and Part C related information by raising their hands? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Disclosures of interest, councillors, was this item subject of a briefing or council meeting that you participated in? No. Okay. Any other interests disclosed at this stage? If not, okay, we'll move on to the item. The Form 1 DAP application for proposed childcare premises at 139 Nicholson Road in Canning Vale. We have one presenter, Mr. Jaden Pope from Altus Planning. Mr. Pope, you do have 3 minutes. Would you like to make your presentation, please?
Thank you. Good morning, members. I'm largely here to just answer any questions, and I'll be speaking in support of the recommendation made by the city. We're appreciative and would like to say thanks to the city, to city's officers throughout the assessment process. We are pleased to endorse the RA and its recommendation. The applicant has provided significant supporting documentation with the application, which demonstrates that the proposal would not result in any unacceptable adverse amenity impacts. And this is largely based on the supporting documentation being a noise assessment, a waste management plan, a TIS, and a road safety audit. We submit that an appropriately condition approval would be consistent with orderly and proper planning and the correct and preferable decision. I respectfully ask you to follow and endorse the city's recommendation. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Pope. Panel members, any question of Mr. Pope? No? Okay. Councillor Islam, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Chair. I've got a question for the presenter. Two questions actually. First question is on the acoustic fence. Our local planning policy requires a minimum of 2 meter in a masonry fence, but the proposed colorbond. What is your planning justification for not complying with a clear mandatory local policy?
So with that one, there is a condition as part of the recommendation that says that the fence is to be masonry or similar. And after discussion with the city officers, we're actually agreeable to that decision. So whilst the acoustic report does talk about the colorbond fencing, we are supportive of the city's position with, I guess, with the local planning policy for that masonry or similar fencing. So there's, yeah, no issue with that one.
Okay, thank you. So next question is about the traffic. I think around peak time is about 94 trips. Now noting next to service station and on the left, right, and also there's a medical center there as well. Question is, what is the expected queue length within the site, particularly on Tuesday afternoon? Because with the fuel discount and the queue, the traffic is piling up to the traffic lights. Do you have any comment on this?
Yeah, apologies. That was. I don't think the TIS or the road safety audit specifically talks about a queue length per a specific time. However, normally with a childcare premises, a TIS or a TIA would be a sufficient sort of information. However, a road safety audit has actually been prepared, which is not fairly standard with this application, that basically runs over the safety risks of that additional turn-in lane that we've got going into the site and coming out. There's going to be a clear sight line. So in terms of a queue length impacting other proposals, unfortunately, that's just not something I'd be able to answer at this time.
Oh, thank you.
I'll just follow on from that, Councillor. I think Councillor Islam was familiar with a recent application for a car wash, and there was that particular item. There was concern about at certain times on Tuesday afternoons or something when there's a high demand for discounted fuel at the service station. There are queues waiting to get in off Burnham Road or this off Nicholson Road. I presume the concern that Councillor Islam has is alleviated by the fact that if there is a queue, then people coming out of the childcare centre will have to wait for a gap in that queue to get out. So they're not contributing to the congestion. It's the people in Nicholson Road that may be. Is that correct?
And to, I guess, stem on from that, I do believe that there is a large property between the subject site and that petrol station. So in terms of a queue length, I would think it's quite unexpected if a queue length went for that long.
Yes, I wouldn't be, say, sitting there waiting for petrol that long, no matter how much discount you get with it. Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other questions of the presenter? No, we'll move on to Mr. Scambler to see if anybody has got questions of him, or do you wish to make any comment first, Mr. Scambler?
No, I'm fine with the presentation and the report as put on the agenda.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Member Premji.
Just a quick question. When I was reading the report, it said there's a single house at the moment on that property, and there'll be a demolition. Will that require a separate permit, or will that be captured in the council's own process?
So it would just require a demolition permit. Approval of the DA includes the demolition.
Okay.
Currently, so all it would require following this, if it does get approved, would be a demolition permit, which is standard procedure in practice.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions of Mr. Scambler? Yes.
Just a couple, Mr. Scambler, about conditions. Condition 3 requires certain amendments to the proposal to incorporate the noise management measures of the noise assessment. It also requires the drawings and specs in that assessment to be endorsed as acceptable by an independent qualified acoustic engineer. Are you asking the applicant to peer review their original report?
Effectively, what we're asking is that they get almost a independent certifier to say what has been said in the Lloyd George report has been incorporated into the building. This condition is something that we've placed on a number of applications in recent times, and it's to ensure that effectively what's being said in the acoustic report actually transpires through to the build.
Okay, thank you. And then, so looking at the wording of condition 3, is condition 4 a duplication of condition 3? Both are requiring the development to be designed and built in accordance with the noise assessment report, the way that I read them, or are they different?
Well, so you've got, there's works that are going to require a building permit. So the actual building itself, we're requesting certification that obviously all the design measures that apply to the building and are certified as such. Also, you've got things like that was mentioned and raised is the acoustic wall, which wouldn't fall within that building permit process and certification.
Okay, so you do think you need the 2 separate conditions?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing further? Okay, thank you. Oh, Councillor Islam.
Yeah, sorry, Chair. I've got a question for the staff, if I can ask. 2 submitters, they were objecting. They raised a number of concerns. One of the concern was reduced solar access and ventilation due to the height of the building and the acoustic fence. How do we mitigate this?
So the actual overshadowing from the wall is compliant with the R codes. So that I guess falls away. And then in terms of the setback to the building, while there was concern about access to ventilation, the setback of the building on the objector's lot was actually about 2.4 metres. So there won't actually be any issues or impacts to the access to both light and ventilation in that regard.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank you. No further questions. Then we'll move on to the item itself. In order to do so, I need a mover and seconder for us to discuss. Do I have a mover for the recommendation? Mayor Lyons, I'll put you down as the mover and Member Page as the seconder. Thank you. Mayor Lyons, your...
Good morning. Just so you could hear my voice, I've moved it. I feel like it's a pretty good development, I think, and I'm happy to support the officer's recommendation on this. So unless something else comes up through this debate, I'm happy to support this as is.
Thank you, Mayor Lyons. Member Page.
Thank you, presiding member. Look, whilst the proposal is in a residential area and it does have immediate residential neighbours to the northeast and southeast, I'm satisfied that any potential impacts have been thoroughly considered and that they'll be appropriately managed through design considerations to manage noise and through the conditions of approval that the city has recommended. Given its location in a residential area, I note the proposal has been assessed against the relevant provisions of the R codes. and assessed as meeting the deemed to comply provisions in relation to setbacks, open space, building height, privacy and overshadowing. Now, those are the matters that often cause amenity impacts on residential neighbours. The fact that those issues are all fully compliant is very positive. There is also no issue with parking. That's often a bone of contention with childcare premises. This proposal doesn't only meet the parking requirements, it exceeds them and therefore comfortably meets the requirements of the city's parking policy. The traffic impact statement and the road safety audit received as part of the application conclude that the traffic that will be generated by the proposal will not have undue negative impact on the surrounding road network, and that the deceleration pocket and left in, left out access arrangements will reduce any road user conflicts. So given the proposal's high level of compliance with the applicable planning framework and the conditions that the city has recommended to safeguard the amenity of the residential neighbours, I'm very happy to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other panel members wish to speak to the item? Yes, Member Premji.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me clearly. Yes. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the applicant and for the council officers of working together to address the concerns that have been expressed. The development is well located and designed. It addresses all the traffic concerns, and given the TIA, it has less than 100 vehicles per hour per lane, which is well below the threshold with minimum impact. And all the concerns and the respective reports and relevant conditions support that the application is within the proper planning framework, and as such I am supportive of the recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Islam, comment?
No comment, Chair. I think everything is covered. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I too will support the application. The development's been thoroughly assessed and plans are supported. The application has to comply with their own technical reports and recommendations in regard to noise, parking, traffic. Good to see that there was a traffic audit submitted with it, particularly as the location is on a fairly busy other regional road. The development should fit in well with the locality, and any concerns that were raised by the objectors or submitters on the application have been addressed. So I'm supportive, fully supportive of the application. That being the case, I'll hand over to Mayor Lyons to close debate on the item.
I have nothing further. Thank you. Happy to support.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'll put the recommendation as published and presented to us. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you very much, panel members. Moving on the agenda, Form 2 DAP applications, there are none. Item 5, SAT reconsiderations, there are none. Part D, other business, SAT applications, some Supreme Court appeals, they're on the DAP website if there are any. And therefore, at this stage, I'll thank the panel members for attendance and participation, presenters for their presentation and answering questions, Mr. Scambler for answering our queries, and I will then close the meeting, and also our secretariat staff, support staff, thank them. I'll close the meeting at 9:56 a.m. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.